working hard and helping out. Red and green and shining blue, they're the really useful crew. All with different roles to play, around the yard so far away. Up and down around the bends, Thomas and his friends.
It was yet another busy day on Sodor. The engines were working hard. They were feeling pleased and proud. Except Henry. He was feeling ill. Some days Henry could pull trains with ease. Sometimes he had no strength at all.
I suffer dreadfully and no one cares.
Rubbish, Henry. You don't work hard enough.
Sir Topham Hatt spoke to Henry too.
I don't understand, Henry. We've given you new parts and new paint too, but they've done you no good. If we can't make you better, I'm not sure what we'll do.
The next day, Henry was taking some trucks to the junction when he saw an emerald green engine up ahead talking to Thomas. She had two big driving wheels and a gleaming brass safety valve. She looked very smart.
So you see, I went very carefully behind them, and that's when I gently pulled James and his train back to safety.
Oh, wow. That does sound exciting. You must be a very brave engine.
Oh, well, I wouldn't say I'm that brave. Oh, hello, Henry.
Hi, Thomas. Who's your new friend?
This is Emily. She's been brought in to help on the main line. Emily, this is Henry. He's a friend of mine.
So, you're Henry? I've heard a bit about you from Sir Topham Hatt. He said you weren't feeling well.
No, not really. I think I've been having issues with my boiler. I can barely pull trains like I used to.
Oh, don't worry, Henry. That's why I'm here. I'll be doing your jobs while you take a good rest. Oh, sorry, Mustache. I don't want to be late on the first day. Nice meeting you two.
Oh, wasn't she a lovely engine, Henry?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Henry, what's wrong?
I'm worried, Thomas. I think Sir Topham Hatt is going to replace me with that new engine.
What? Don't be silly, Henry. Sir Tom Hatt would never replace you. He only brought Emily to make things easier for you.
But Henry wasn't so sure. Soon Emily began working on the main line with the other engines. Although she wasn't the strongest engine, she managed to pull any train given to her. All of the trucks and coaches behaved well, so Emily never had any trouble. Emily got along well with everyone and was adored by all the engines.
She's a very polite engine. Not to mention how beautiful she is.
I agree. I love her paintwork. I wouldn't mind looking like that.
That night at the sheds, all of the engines were talking to Emily.
It's a pleasure having you on our railway, my dear. You're certainly a big help here on the main line.
Well, I do my best to be really useful.
I'd say you do more than enough. You're one of the hardest workers we've ever seen.
Just then, Henry reversed into the sheds. He looked miserable.
What's up with you, Henry?
My boiler's grumbling.
Maybe it's grumbling at you.
Shut up! That's not funny. You just don't care.
Henry puffed away to sleep in the yard. But as he left, Emily could see he was leaving a puddle of water behind. She began to feel worried. The next day, Henry was in the yard collecting his goods train when Emily pulled up beside him.
Henry, are you feeling well?
No, I feel sick.
Why don't you go and rest back at the sheds? I can take your train for you.
Oh, no, thank you. I can manage. I hope.
And Henry pulled away with his train. Emily was more worried than ever. Henry puffed down the line with his long line of trucks. But soon Henry began to feel weak.
Oh, bother.
Soon Emily arrived.
Oh dear, Henry. Are you all right?
No, I'm stuck.
Don't worry, Henry. I'll take you and your train up to the next station.
Emily was soon coupled up to Henry and pulled him and his trucks away. Presently, Emily and Henry reached Wellsworth. Sir Topham Hatt was waiting.
Well done, Emily. You were very brave, Henry. You aren't well, but you did try your best. I think the best thing for you to do now is to rest for a while.
Yes, sir.
The next day, Henry didn't get any better. He felt even worse, so he had to stay in the sheds. Emily had to do his work as well as her own, but she didn't mind. She knew she was helping her friend. Later, Emily had to take a passenger train up to Thomas's branch line. She was making good time as she sped down the tracks. But Emily was heading for trouble. As she passed through the tunnel, she felt herself going slower and slower when... she suddenly stopped in the middle of the line.
What's happened? I feel weak.
Your safety valve is burst. You can't pull the train anymore.
But I have to take these passengers up to Thomas's branch line. What do we do?
Meanwhile, Henry was at the sheds when he saw his driver and fireman rushing up to him.
Come on, Henry. There's an emergency. Emily's broken down on the line. We need to go and rescue her and the passengers.
What? Oh, poor Emily. I have to help her.
Henry? But I thought you weren't feeling well.
I'm not Emily, but I'm willing to help. You helped me yesterday, and it's only fair I help you back.
Are you sure you can do it?
I'll give it a good try.
managed to push Emily and her coaches to the junction. Thomas was there waiting for his passengers. He was surprised to see Henry with Emily.
Oh, what are you doing here, Henry? Weren't you back at the sheds?
I had a bit of an accident, Thomas. My safety valve burst, and I couldn't pull the train. But thanks to Henry, I made it on time.
Henry was tired, but very flattered. The passengers soon boarded the train, and Thomas pulled away. Later, Emily and Henry were alone at the sheds when Sir Topham had arrived.
Well done, Henry. I've heard all about it, and I must say you've been a really useful engine.
Thank you, sir.
Henry, is something wrong?
It's just that I thought you were going to replace me with Emily, sir. I know I'm a sick engine, and sick engines like me aren't really useful.
Henry, you're one of the most useful engines on my railway. I wouldn't dream of replacing you. I'm sending you to the works to get your tubes mended, and I'll make sure they give you a new coat of paint. You'll feel like a new engine.
Oh, thank you, sir.
A few days later, Emily was waiting at the big station when she saw Henry arrive, looking much more cheerful.
Hello, Henry. You're looking better.
Yes, they mended my tubes, but they didn't even look at my brakes, my gauges, my squeaky wheels.
Oh, Henry.